Okay, so what is self-observation? What is it? Self-observation. It's exactly what it says it is. It's self-observation is watching yourself in action. You're watching yourself as you do all the things that you do as you go through your day. Okay. Self observation is not being self absorbed. Like, some people are like self absorbed, like maybe you've known narcissists, for example. I mean, everyone's a little self absorbed. I mean, we live in our own little bubble world, right? Until we snap out of that. But it's not being absorbed. Self observation is you're noticing what you do as you do it. Like, for example, if I am loading clothes into the washing machine, like I'll bend down to the basket and I'll pick up just a couple of handfuls of clothes and put them up in the open. The lid is open and the soap's already in, and maybe even some water's already in. So now I'm going to load the clothes. So as I load the clothes, I do that consciously. I know that, okay, I'm standing here in front of the washer and I'm loading clothes into the open part, the open machine. The lid is up. So I'm loading clothes loosely. You put them in loose and you try to put them even around the whole thing. So I know that I'm loading clothes into the washer. I know as I reach for the lid to close the lid and start the machine, okay, I know that I'm reaching for the lid. It's awareness of what I'm doing in the moment that I'm doing it. That is practicing. That is the practice of self-observation. Now, notice that when I'm doing that, I'm not telling myself, okay, Jack, I mean, I may to remind myself, oh yeah, let me come home to myself. Let me get this going. Let me start this up. I'm not telling myself, oh, observe, observe. Just like you don't tell yourself, okay, self, now it's time to breathe. Okay, take a breath now. Okay, heart, make sure you beat now so I can keep living, so blood can go through me. And right, you don't, you're not telling yourself heartbeat and lungs inhale. It's automatic. Self observation becomes automatic. At the beginning, when you're learning how to do it, yeah, it's mechanical. And I used to write. I'd write a message to myself on a piece of paper and keep it in my pocket. So I'd be going throughout my day, and I'd remember, I'd reach in my pocket to get some money for something or whatever. I'd feel that piece of paper. Just feeling the piece of paper would remind me, oh yeah, come home to yourself. Remember to observe yourself. So initially, it's mechanical, and you have to remind yourself to do that. But if you keep at it and you start to see how much better being alert and aware is, as opposed to being psychologically, emotionally asleep, which is our state, once you see that awareness is better than sleep, then you start to self-observe. It just becomes a natural habit, and you do it just like you're breathing. You don't even think about it, but that requires effort. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you, oh, it's easy. It is easy once you learn how to do it. But let me tell you in words why you and anybody would want to learn how to self-observe. And that's because we kind of just touched on it, when I go through my day, when I go through life, and I'm alert and aware, alertness and awareness feels good. In the first video, we just said, if you want to be happy, you have to go to where happiness is. And we learned happiness exists inside me. Your happiness exists inside you. I can't make you happy. I can't make you happy. You can't make me happy. That's the whole fallacy of human relationship and marriage. I can provide a distraction for you. I can play a role for you. I can play the role of whatever, fill in the blank on that, but I can't make you happy because I can't be inside of you. The only person inside of you is you. So what does that mean? That means that you're the one who has to do the work. If you want to get rid of your pain and suffering, and if you want to break out and you want to have a good life, you can do it. But guess who has to do the work? You have to do the work. And something else, you just go through YouTube, go through anywhere. You've all seen it. There's people out there. I mean, we've seen them our whole lives, and they'll be like, if you want to be happy, just take my course, read my book. I know what happiness is, and yada, yada, yada. The only person who can teach you how to do something is someone who already knows how to do it themselves. That makes sense, right? If I want to learn how to speak German, I hire a German tutor, $30 an hour, whatever, and we sit down at a table and I have my notepad and he or she just starts teaching me German. And I just start writing. I may record the session. I may put it on video, whatever, to keep it and replay it and learn and study. But, it's the same kind of effort that this takes. If you want to learn how to wake up, that's actually what you're supposed to be doing in life, well, look no further. You don't have to go to anybody else, any of these people who say they're going to make you happy, they can make you happy, take their course, take their system. The only way to be happy is to learn how to self-observe. Okay? Christ said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven, the state of heaven, the emotional state, the psychological state, the level of consciousness, where heaven exists, bliss, happiness, joy, that's all attainable. But you have to realize where that is. It's not up in the sky. You don't attain that state or that emotional level after you're physically dead. You either get it now in this lifetime or you don't get it at all. That means you need to learn how to self-observe. That's the only thing Christ said when he came to this planet. And other people have said it also. The exact same message. The kingdom of heaven is inside you. Okay? I don't want to scatter I don't want to go too far off on any one branch of any of this. I'm trying to keep it all within the confines of what is self-observation. But what is self-observation and why would I want to self-observe? Because when you're self-observing, your pain vanishes. No longer are you in psychological pain. You're not. You are enjoying your life. You are alert. You have awoken. Is that the awakened? You have woken up. I want to be careful. That's not a permanent psychological state. Oh, well, now I'm awake. This has to be worked at constantly. Every day of your life, if you so choose, I mean, to self observe is to live in a state of awareness. And in that state, you can't suffer. Suffering's impossible. You cannot suffer unless you're in a state of psychological sleep. That's the state that you and I are most familiar with, is the state of sleep. I mean, that's the entire world is in a state of sleep. That's why people fight. A family under one roof, none of them can get along. Why? Because they're all asleep. They're all sleeping. They're awake physically, and they're walking around on two legs, and they're doing their thing, but they're not awake psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. They're not awake at all. They're sound asleep. And when two things are sound asleep, they bump into each other, and that's pain. And that's why you and I have so much trouble with other people, is because you and I are asleep, and we're dealing with other people who are asleep also. And so nothing good can come of that relationship. We can call it a marriage or a relationship or a family or whatever. We can do all the things that this world tells us to do to be happy. But rarely, if ever, does any of that provide true happiness, because the only thing that will give you true happiness is to awaken from the sleep. And that's it. And that's why we're here. That's our purpose in life. People hit 40, 60, 80, and they're like, oh my God, I've done everything that this world told me to do in so many words to get happy. How come I'm miserable? Right? I hit 32, and I was saying that. I'm like, my God, I don't get it. I was physically beat, exhausted, emotionally cooked, on all levels. And I stumbled onto the study of truth, higher knowledge, esotericism. I stumbled into it. I'm like, wait a minute, what's this? Well, this is truth. Well, what do you mean? What's truth? Well, truth is higher knowledge. It's also hidden. The word esoteric means, hidden knowledge that's available to everyone on the planet, but it's hidden. It just, because people just aren't focused on it, they're not interested in it, they do not seek it. But this was Christ's entire message, was God exists inside you, not outside. God is not up in the clouds somewhere, and that's all just Sunday school nonsense. God, the essence, spirit, reality, truth, awareness, all of this was breathed into you at the moment of conception. The moment that what you call you, and I call me, the moment we were conceived so that we could come to this plane. You can't spell the word planet without plane. The moment we were conceived so we could spend a certain period, a finite period on this plane, that awareness, that godness was breathed into us. So you and I have been, we came up in a family that was rough enough, right? Living under that household, living under that roof with all those people, right? And they do everything they can to it's just not conducive to your spiritual growth. It's like, my God, What's wrong with these people? You're just a little kid trying to make your needs, trying to meet your needs, trying to eat, trying to survive. You remember how that was. But see, all those, they were equally as lost as you were. And I'll say were because maybe you're starting to snap out of it now. Maybe you're starting to warm up to this now. If you continue to go through life psychologically asleep, comma, you will suffer. If you want to end your suffering, you will wake up. You will come out from among them. Christ said that also, right? Come out from among them. You don't want to do it. There's nothing in you that wants to do it, but raise your hand up and say, I want out. I have done this. I've gone along with what this world and this society and with my relatives and my friends. I've done everything that all those people told me in so many words, the media, to be happy. Am I happy? No, not at all. In fact, I'm worse off now than I've ever been. If you're honest with yourself, if you can actually, a lot of people can't be honest with themselves. They can't. There's too much at stake. They have to keep pretending that everything's okay. If you're sick of pretending, you've stumbled upon the right place because I'll show you how to get out. And the only person who can show you how to get out is somebody who's gotten out themselves. Nobody else can show you how to get out, how to snap the spell of your sleep, except somebody who's done that for themselves or has climbed the mountain just a little bit so that they have a better view now than they did in the past. Even a thirsty man can deliver water. I'm thirsty. I suffer. Anger courses through me. Something doesn't go my way. There it is. Here comes anger, resentment, fear, right? All those lower emotions. The lower emotions cause us pain. The higher emotions bring us pleasure. We want to live in a state where we're up at the higher emotions. And that's a talk completely for itself. I got to wrap this up. What is self-observation? Self-observation is what Christ came to this planet to teach. And you know what happened to him? The powers that be did not want him saying that. And you'll find that the powers that be, organized religion, they don't know anything about self-observation. If they did, they would teach it. When you go to church or temple, do you ever hear anybody talking about self-observation? When's the last time that happened? You don't hear it from the religious leaders, put that word in quotes, for the simple reason that the experts do not know. They don't know. That's why they don't teach it. If they knew it, they would teach it. They don't know it, so they don't teach it, which means you have to look elsewhere. Okay? You can't go to one of these people who depends upon position, title, wearing some Halloween costume, right? Those people, they will block you from personal awareness. They'll block you from that. And I'll get more into organized religion a bit later on down the road. at the appropriate time. But for right now, stay with this. Okay. View every video you can get your hands on. Stay with this. Okay. You've found it. Stick with this. And I'll see you on the next one.